Oh, so I completed Mass Effect 2, and I must admit I was quite impressed with the game up until I got to the end. I found the ending very unsatisfying, shall we say. I mean, I completed the final mission, I breezed through it, I had no casualties of any kind, all of the crew were rescued, yeah, defeated the final enemy, and yeah, all of the like squad were all perfectly okay. So I got through all of that, so I thought I'd give Mass Effect 3 a go. Now, for this vid, there may be some spoilers if you're curious about the game but have never played it, but I haven't got very far in it, so I can't reveal too many spoilers, but nevertheless, if you want no spoilers at all, you probably don't want to watch this. So let's load up the game, and you can see I'm 8 hours into it, but I haven't done a great deal. So you can see I have the Turian here. This is Primarch Victus. I've just finished the mission that he sends you on to Chunker, Krogan homeworld, to defuse the bomb that's there. I've also got Reeve here. These two are not actually part of your squad, but they're here in the war room. I've got another mission of his to do.
You see the feeds from Paladin?
So
It's brutal. I'm amazed the Turians are holding.
The birds don't quit when things get ugly. I'll give them that.
right, well, let's cut to the chase. I fucking hate this game. A lot of the time, if I think the game's shit, then I'll just say, oh, that's it, you know, it's a load of shit. I'll just fucking, you know, throw it to one side and just ignore it. It's rare for a game to, you know, provoke absolute intense hatred, and this game does it effortlessly. I hate it, I loathe it, I despise it, I detest it, I have utter contempt for it. Everything about this game just seems to have been designed to be unbearable to all but a very specific target audience. It's got lots of sort of small niggles in it that irritate me, and then it has the one big one. So we'll go through the small niggles that annoy me first of all. The private terminal. So all of your messages now are all in just this one long great list. Before, I'm sure it was split up into several different ones, and once you've read a message, you can then discard it and put it in your read emails list. Now you can't do that, so they are all constantly here. You can tell if you've read a message because the title here is this sort of like faded out. If it's unread, then it's as bright as the text on this side. But there's no way of marking it, so you know some of this stuff is more interesting and more important than others. So say for example this one. So it ends, I need you to head to a Cerberus lab on the planet Sanctum. I'll brief you when you're inbound. So that one's quite handy. But the only reason I can, you know, find it easily is because it's the top one so far. But let's say, for example, well, I will use this one. Still in the hospital, but I'm up on my feet eating solid food, making trouble for the nurses. They'll probably throw me out of here soon. Come by if you're on the Citadel, same room. So you visit the Citadel to see him. But if you've forgotten about it, well, his message is buried down here, and there's no way of marking it to tell you, oh yeah, that's something you want to do. So the private terminal emails are a fucking mess, and it's not like, you know, it can't be tidied up or anything, because you're able to do that in Mass Effect 2. So why could you do it in that but not in the sequel? Why can't you do it in this? The only other things in the private terminal are watching training videos if you've never played the game before, but that's all that's here. Now, the second niggle is your journal. Whereas before you had the mission summary and you also had assignments, this was in Mass Effect 2. Now they are all piled into just one huge great list. So I've got all of this lot, and okay, it will tell you things like priority for some. So this one here, the Jennifer HK cure is a success, but it must be synthesized and dispersed across all of Tuchanka using the Shroud Tower. Land on Tuchanka and get Eve safely to the tower. Eve is the name given to the female Krogan that I've got here. And yeah, it flashes there new if you know, it's a newly given mission, but of course once you've highlighted it, it's no longer flashing new. So apart from sorting it by name and sorting by oldest, there is no other way of being able to find out, okay, right, I mean N7 Cerberus attack, that doesn't tell me fuck all. So you've got to select it and read through it. Cerberus taking control of an old military installation on Tuchanka. Okay, well that's where I am, for unknown reasons, blah 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 blah. But a lot of the time these mission headlines here don't tell you a fucking thing about, you know, what you need to do. So you have to highlight it, which means that if it's new and it was flashing new, that new has now gone. So this one, Barlavon has provided a location of Shadow Broker forces trapped in the Duranic system inside the Krogan demilitarized zone. Recruit them to the war effort and return to Barlavon. Well, Barlavon, okay, well you can guess, okay, they're on the Citadel, but it doesn't tell you where. There are like 6 different sections on the Citadel. I can't remember where he is. I only got that mission yesterday. I can't remember where the fuck he is. So yeah, all of your missions are now all lumped in together in this one area. Now the codex is split into 2. Why, I don't know, but the more important one being the missions and the assignments split into 2. No, that hasn't been done. Again, it was done in Mass Effect 2. Why couldn't they do it here? So, next irritating one. Doing your fucking powers when you're levelling up. Now, as you can see, I straight away put maxed out warp up to grade 6. Also maxed out fitness and biotic mastery. Now, in Mass Effect 2, and I'm pretty sure this was also the case in the first one, all you did was select the one you wanted to do, click on, actually you didn't even need to click on the particular grade you wanted to upgrade it to. Oops. And then click, you know, add points or whatever the fucking hell thing it is. Now you have to go to here, then you've got to expand it, then you can select what the upgrade you want and click on upgrade, and then go back to the menu, and it's just been made extremely long-winded. Why? What was wrong with how it was before? Why have you now got to do it this fucking way? Why has it got to be so fucking long-winded and everything else? Right, so now on to another thing that irritates me. Getting through here. The door is right in front of you, but no, you've got to stop for this fucking scan thing, then step through, and only then can you then walk through the door. It's like 2 steps in front of you, but it seems to take a fucking age to be able to actually do it. And of course, I've entered what is going to be a dead end area. So now I've got to go back through it again if I want to get to either the galaxy map or if I want to get to the elevator to get to other parts of the ship. So here we have the elevator. Note that you don't actually walk into the elevator anymore. So let's go to the shuttle bay. And so you emerge outside the elevator. Yet the controls for the elevator are also on the outside. So now down here, every single shop you find, you can access through here. So let's do this Batarian State Arms. Now if you do that, you have to pay an extra, it says there, 10% markup. So these would be 4,000, but if you buy it from here, it costs 4,400. It's handy, I suppose, but it's also extremely fucking lazy. So it lets you just... You can also buy weapon upgrades. So going around and you know, finding weapon upgrades in the shops seems to be a bit pointless because they're going to show up here, and then there's the actual weapon upgrading itself, and adding the weapons to your loadout is done in such a fucking awkward way. I can't be bothered. It's fucking annoying me too much. The changing of your armour and all this is definitely pretty much the same as before, but there is certainly several examples of where this game is really aimed at fucking wankers. That is one. Why the fuck would anyone choose that? Now I know people will, people who are seriously sad cunts. You know, it's like, oh, we can see her walking around in a fucking leather mini fucking skirt and leather fucking get up. Oh, fuck off. But it gets far worse than that as far as stuff being added purely for the fucking wankers. I think it's... Is it here? Where you have... No, not that. But there's some reporter on your ship. Not here either. I think they must be on another... Is it engineering? I don't think it is. Oh, it might actually, yeah. But not this one, because I think I'm walking to a fucking dead end here. No, it's not there. Don't think it's there anyway.
Breaking now, the Arcturus station destroyed,
Yeah.
and the Alliance Parliament feared dead. But Admiral Stephen Hackett says the fleets can regroup. We'll hear it from him right here in the battle space.
So, it's basically a case of...
You know, in the old days, they didn't have automat on cameras. Reporters had to cake on the makeup.
Why make her look like that? That's a rhetorical question. I know exactly why they made her look like that. She's not the worst, not by a fucking long way. So we go back up to deck 2. We'll head to the actual helm. And in here, there is a
Krogan and the
character.
Turians really should get behind the Alliance. They've got so much in common, like shooting things and not wanting to die. And now that's about it.
So we have a character here who you may recognise from Mass Effect 2, Edie, the artificial intelligence that was in the second Mass Effect. She didn't look like this in the second one.
Yes, Shepard?
I'm almost dread to think what will happen if I say body's capabilities, but...
Does that body have any useful advantages?
Very few. It's optics face forward only. It has no integrated weapon systems or anti-missile countermeasures.
I meant in comparison to organic bodies, not the Normandy.
Oh. I will reassess. The body is resistant to modern small arms fire and temperature extremes. Its balance and agility seem excellent. Its fine manipulation servos and software allow for precision tasks. I'm curious to see if I can alter them.
Carry on, Edie.
Understood. If you wish to talk more, this body will be here. I'm getting the crew used to seeing me on the bridge.
Noted.
So it's designed purely for wankers who just, you know, oh, I can't wait to see fucking, what was the point of that? Oh yeah, I can't wait to see fucking pixelated tits on the screen. Oh. So anyway, those are some of the minor issues. Then there is the one big one. This game is absolutely aimed squarely at Americans and nobody else. Everyone talks like, you know, your typical sort of Hollywood US military style. Including the US salute. They could have made one up for this. I mean, this is set however many fucking years in the future, and there's no actual, like, you know, nobody says they're from, you know, some part of you know, England or some part of fucking, I don't know, South Sudan, or, you know, so and so is from Timor-Leste. No, they don't do any of that. It's just they're from Earth. And yet amazingly they're all American, and they all have stereotypical Americanisms, which of course America thinks everybody in the world thinks is great, and that everybody in the world wants to be like that. No, we don't. In fact, I would rather just fucking put a bullet through my head than be like an American. And no one illustrates that more than a particular character who is with you right from the start.
Don't you dare. They're everywhere. You just get taken too.
And that is this cunt down here.
Stay with me. Run. Get out of here.
When you first talk to him down here, he's doing pull-ups on this bar
Promise me.
and carries on doing them while he's talking to you.
Hey, Commander. You see that Krogan female?
Up close and personal.
I think the male's got the pretty gene.
This... No, I
talk to you
can't.
later.
I can't even stomach seeing him on my fucking screen. Every time I see him, I just think, what a cunt. Everything about him. So everybody acts like they are all in you know, the American military, not the Earth one, no, the American one, and it doesn't just stop with your crew members. All of the like Admiralty and all that, they all do it. And worst of all, you do it. In fact, you do it more than everybody else combined. And it's done in possibly the worst way possible. And that is by laying on the fucking sentimental bullshit so fucking thick that 5 minutes of playing this fucking thing is a bit like watching the entire Peter Capaldi era of Doctor Who. It's that fucking bad. And near the start, you find some fucking little kid who's about 5 or 6, I think they say, and you see him die. He gets put on some rescue ship, and then the rescue ship gets shot down and bursts into flames when it hits the ground. And I was thinking, yeah, that's alright, yeah, I couldn't give a fucking monkey's toss. But Shepard here constantly bangs on about it to any cunt who will fucking listen. In fact, she'll bang on about it to any cunt who doesn't want to know, i.e. the person fucking playing the game. We've also had a dream sequence featuring him, which you cannot skip. It's not a cutscene, and believe there are fucking plenty of cutscenes, and they go on for an eternity. But this dream sequence is not a cutscene. You're playing the game while having this dream, and I just do not care. I could not give a fucking toss. And then later on, there have been multiple times, and bearing in mind, like I said at the start of this video, I haven't been playing this game for very long, but there have already been plenty of times where she will say to other people, oh, we're at war, therefore people are going to die. Well, why don't you fucking think about that before you start banging on about seeing some fucking kid die? You're standing there saying, oh, it's war, people die, and yet you keep going on about this fucking kid. Oh, it's so terrible. Oh, I don't think I can live with myself after seeing that. I'll just fuck off. So it is absolutely geared towards an American audience and no one else. No other person could stomach the seriously heavy amount of sentimental bullshit that's slapped onto it, all of the Americanisms that every single fucking character you encounter displays in I mean, I've tried to like it. So this is the first time I've actually been playing it. I've had it for, I think, getting on for 2 years now. And my intention was always to play the first, then the second, and then the third. So, but I've skipped the first, I've completed the second, which I liked, and got on to this. And I just cannot believe what this is fucking throwing at me. It is without doubt the worst game BioWare have ever done. I just don't know what else to say about it. If you are a regular in this video of this channel, you'll know that you know, if I think a game is shit, then, you know, I'll just say it's shit and that's it. But there have been a couple of exceptions. One of those being Just Cause 2. Well, I hate this game more than I hate Just Cause 2. I did not think it would be possible for a game to be made that I would hate more than that, and this has done it without any effort at all. But I am absolutely serious. I hate this game more than I hate Just Cause 2. And that really does say it all.